Alright, this is episode 1, Stoop Chronicles, or Porch Chronicles, whatever I decide to call it. Probably Stoop Chronicles. My boy Cello here. We both just up and coming YouTubers, and we just decided to record ourselves talking today about whatever comes to mind, you know. So, my boy in the military, so he got a really unique perspective on stuff. He's traveled a lot of places. Tell him some stuff about like where you traveled and stuff like that.
I'm putting me out there like that.
Got to.
I haven't traveled too many places. I have been overseas. Just got back from Europe maybe like 6 months ago. That's how I say Romania specifically. And interesting to say the least.
Romania. What was your favorite place to travel that you liked? That you would say?
Since I've been in the military or over in Romania?
Either one. I'd say both, actually, both.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably definitely Romania. Not all parts, but just like the capital city, like that was real cool.
Capital
just seeing
city.
like,
What's it like?
You said what's it like?
Yeah.
So you done play like Call of Duty before? Kind of like that. Like it's just a different vibe, but still urban feel to it. They got like all the posters, like they had the new Stranger Things poster. Like I don't know, you know, like it's international. You watch shows.
Yeah.
You never know what other people into, the different languages and all that.
Yeah.
But it was nice to know like we all kind of on the same vibe. Like even our hotels. Oh my god.
It was nice.
Went to some of the best hotels while we was over there. We ate really good.
Now, I do have a unique perspective on this because my dad was in the military. He was in the Navy, and he tells me all the time, sailed the world 3 times, and I'm always asking him different questions and stuff. He was in it so long ago, he got these Polaroid pictures that he be showing me. I'll be like, man, it's crazy. Like, he got this one where he just like, it's just a kangaroo just generally in the vicinity behind him. Like, he said in Australia, some of their zoos, like, they don't have no fences. Like, it's just basically a sign that say enter at your own risk. Like, I think that's so amazing. Like, but the reason I ask is because of a lot of stuff we're going through out here right now is like really starting to show signs of other countries. Like China, for instance, is like, you know, I know you ain't going to China, can't nobody really go to China in the military especially, but because they so communism, they control everything. Like, you think that's like where we headed in our country, like just control on everything and everything?
Not even going based off like my personal military experience, but just like watching what's going on out here in the world. I think it'll definitely get a lot more strict over here in the States because like we're losing control. I say that because really, we talked about this before, just my views of like getting out of this debt to other countries.
I thought that was just a wind. It's really raining right now.
Really coming in.
We go to the porch. Pause. All right, sorry guys, we had to move the venue a little bit. It started raining hard as hell. All right, but so you was telling them like based on your unique perspective, how you think our country's doing.
Yeah, and how you were asking me if we were getting anything more like China. I think they're gonna have to crack down on rules a little bit more, just because we're losing more control. When I say that, I mean we rely on other countries for resources, other stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just all tied into our $1 trillion debt already. And if our dollar is going down compared to what like they're trying to do,
It's about to fall. It's on this magazine, that's why.
decreasing our chance of ever getting out of that debt.
Yeah. I think
It just made me like wonder like over all these years what have we really been doing? Like have we really been taking this serious trying to get out of it, or like just kind of thinking it'll go away on its own as long as we keep trying, just not giving our full best effort.
now I will say this. The only person that I know, the only president that I know in my lifetime that actually tried to do something about it really was Trump, because he was trying to bring back the coal industry, and when he was bringing back all of them jobs, I started seeing that because I was working in the job industry. I'm like, he really bringing people back to work. He cut off all that unemployment stuff. Man, I regret not getting on that, boy. I would have been. Anyways, can't dwell in the past. But I seen him bringing people back to work, and I thought the coal industry was really just BS, but what he was doing with that was bringing jobs back to the U.S. And that's why I remember, I think it was Barack, he did like some really crazy tariffs, like some trading tariffs and stuff, and he was like, you can't do this, and he was increasing the taxes on the imports and stuff, which that made our economy just plummet. I think he thought like it was going to make us be more reliant, but I don't think nobody really got the answer on that. Like, I wish that all the stuff that we get that was made in China was made in the U.S., because that would mean that our dollar really would just circulate around us, and we wouldn't have to pay other people. Even though it might be cheaper, we're still paying people more in the long run to make our stuff for us instead of just making it ourselves. I think if we did become a more self-reliant, independent nation like that, then we'd really be unstoppable for real. Nobody could really, because we wouldn't need nobody else. It's like, once you move out your parents' house, that's when you visit back the most, because that's when they don't need you, but you want to see them. You don't have to see them, but you want to see them. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I got a real interesting perspective on that, because when I started learning about this stuff, like when I first started diving into politics, I was like, man, the people that we have in power really don't affect nothing except what they directly see. Like, if I'm living behind a gated community, right? Of course I'm think gun violence is out of control, right? I'm be like, yeah, we need to get the guns out of all these crazy people's hands while I have armed security, while my security gate monitor, whatever, got armed security, while I'm constantly around armed security. That's like, if you want to really get rid of the violence in our communities and really like start taking our nation back from these other like dependent nations that depend on us and we depend on them so much, I think we got to become more just overall independent. And these lawmakers and stuff, some of them got to go. Like, a lot of them get paid, they only work like 2-3 days a week. They get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. And I think that's ridiculous. Like, it don't make no sense. I know that decisions that they make are important, but I think that if you're representing my neighborhood, you should be from my neighborhood. They got people representing people in the black community, white community, Asian community that ain't never lived, breathed, nothing in that community. You know what I mean?
That is one thing that I kind of like about our city. I don't know if this goes for other cities, because like you said, I'm just kind of now getting into this politics thing. I know a lot of like our city council, they come from our city, like they were born and raised in Cincinnati.
Yeah, the city council do, but I learned that I just learned the process of lawmaking. Like, it's so interesting, because I actually watched a committee hearing the other day, and it took 10 hours to talk about one law, because everybody kept amending it. There was 50 amendments to the amendment to the amendment, and then the final thing passed, and then the vote still has to go back to the Congress, then has to go back to the Senate, then has to go to the president to get signed, like for federal laws.
Yeah,
I'm like, this is crazy. And local laws, it's like very similar, because the constitutional concealed carry, I kept seeing that it passed, and then I would look it up, and it was like, yeah, it's passed by the committee, but still has to go to the Congress, and then has to go back to the committee, then back to the Congress, then to DeWine to sign. I'm like, why are they even announcing that it passed? Like, is that just supposed to be giving people hope? Because it took like 6 years for them to pass that one law, and he only passed it because he was up for re-election. I'm like, this process, man, is crazy. I'm not saying that it's flawed or nothing, because I don't have an idea on how to make it better, but I would think that maybe having less people doing that, like they get paid by us, the taxpayers. We're paying their salaries, and they just sitting around talking and thinking and partying.
Yeah, man, I think you definitely had a point where you said, like, there's a lot of these guys in office, like, they just bring into, nothing against Joe Biden, been on too long.
Man.
And that's why they really say, they've been telling us for years, like, we're really relying on the kids. They gotta learn the system. They gotta know what they're talking about, and they gotta get into it. It's somebody like our age down in Memphis. They're running for city council. I'm thinking like, oh, dude, what am I doing? Like,
Yep.
they are fighting for civil rights right now. That's what I'm doing.
Bro, perfect example of this. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. When she first came in office, everybody was like, she's not supposed to be there, blah, blah. I started doing the research. She's never even been in politics. Like, she's a whole congresswoman. She's never ran, she's never been a lawyer. She was literally a bartender, bro. And then got into office, which I applaud. You know what I mean? But I thought you had to have some experience. Like, I thought you had to do something and something. But it's kind of, I guess it's like more frowned upon if you don't. But if you do, then great, like, kind of thing. It's pretty interesting how that works. Like,
yeah, no, I thought you did have to have at least like 1 year law or something. 1 year of studies to be a lawyer, but you gotta really think what a law is. It's just morals, doing the right thing, making sure everybody is getting their fair slice.
being a lawyer only takes 4 years.
Perfect for that.
They know the people. At least they know the people.
Yeah, you know, both sides of the coin.
I don't really like her, but that's for personal reasons. That ain't nothing to her. Her stuff. I don't really like how she be presenting herself. Like, she just be lying. Like, it was this thing where she was on Capitol Hill and she was saying that she was being arrested and blah blah blah. And I looked at the picture. I'm like, she ain't got no handcuffs on. How you being arrested? I'm like, anybody who knows they being arrested, you're in cuffs. Like, she was doing it for a political stunt or whatever. That'd be another thing. They be like doing stuff for cool points and brownie points and making side deals and stuff. Somebody told me, one of my friends told me a long time ago, he said, man, you think these judges and these lawyers don't know each other, bro? Like, they be playing golf. They don't care about your case. And then bro asked him, he said, well, what you in here for? He said, man, they done threw my case. He was like, nah, you did it. You did it. It was Ali Sadiq. I remember. He was like, you did it, bro. Because he was just saying, like, nah, they be getting trumped up charges and blah, blah. And he's like, so what you in here for? He's like, man, I got trumped up charges. He said, nah, you did it, bro. You did it. You did it, bro. It's you. You gotta, that's another thing that I think people really, especially in my generation now, I'm seeing lack of accountability. Like, it's just wild. Nobody says, I'm sorry, or my fault, I did it, or it won't happen again, I apologize. Like, those phrases, like, is like unobtainium right now. Like, you can't buy them, you can't get them nowhere. Like, what's your experience with people saying, like, taking accountability in the military? Like,
well, you know, that's one of our like 7 principles.
I have no idea what the 7 principles of the military are.
Hey, don't ask me to respond. I ain't had to recite those since basic. Best believe I do know them. They are engraved into my heart. Like, I feel like I always been this kind of dude because, you know, Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
I've always had like.
Yeah, man, I really mess with Boy Scouts tough. We had the adult Boy Scouts, the Venture Crew. We was Venture Crew 911, and I only remember that because it's 911. Our crew was the toughest though, man. We went everywhere, but we had to sell mulch to take the money, not knowing that people was giving us the money, but we was selling the mulch to back up the money that they was spending. Like, I sold so much mulch in them white neighborhoods. They was like, oh, what do you want? Like, oh, here you go. Just giving it to them. We ain't doing like a mulch thing, not even a yard long. They giving us $100. Like, you know what I mean? They waxing that for it.
What did you say it was called? It was something 911?
Venture Crew.
Venture Crew
911.
Never heard of it. That sounds like some.
That was 911. 911 was our specific crew, but it was called Venture Crew. We did we had to get sworn in and everything, just like it was actually at the Boy Scouts thing. Where it is, I don't remember, but it's in Cincinnati though. And yeah, it was raw because I thought it was a joke. Like, I thought it was just like an after school club type of thing. Until we start going on the trips, then you got to get signed in. Like, we got our shirts, we got our patches and everything. I still got the patch from when we canoed 100 miles. Boy, my arms. I came back, just like this. I had veins popping out. Like, I'm just. Yeah, we was windbound the last day. We had to fight the wind going upstream just to get back to the. Anyways, yeah, it was fun though. We had some fun though, but I always did like that. I think the only reason I didn't join the military was because of my boy Mike, R.I.P. He got kicked out because he lied on his application and said he didn't have asthma and all that running. Yeah, they was like, yeah, I think you got asthma, bro. He said, yeah, I do.
Hey, I ain't gonna put it all on him, man.
Oh no, they definitely working. They definitely working for sure, for sure. But he was epileptic too. I think that's really what did it more than anything. I think he had a couple seizures. Yeah.
Yeah, now she said, I don't know anybody with seizures and all.
Yeah, you can't have certain stuff, and I mean, because that's you can't be fucking shoot somebody. You start seizing, shit, like, you know what I mean? You can't shoot your own commander like. But nah, yeah. Yeah. So your favorite place that you've been anywhere in the world?
You don't take it back to. I told you, it was Romania.
Yeah.
We had fun over there.
Romania.
Like, that's the only place I've been overseas, but.
Yeah. So now listen, y'all. Listen, funny story. He posted on his Snapchat story this thing of McDonald's talking about like what should he get or something, and I was like, damn, that McDonald's man, you look old as hell. where is you at? He said, where was you at? You was somewhere in close to Iran or something. Not close, but you was in the same continent. Cause I you know on Snapchat you can zoom out and see where he at. It's on the other side of the world. I'm thinking we about to hoop tomorrow. He on the other side of the damn planet. Yeah. They menu looked like it was from 1990. Y'all want to see what his menu looked like? Watch that movie Big Daddy, and look at their McDonald's menu, and that's what it looked like. But yeah, that was hilarious.
I probably still got it on my phone. We can edit it in there.
Probably. Yeah, probably cool. But yeah.
But yeah, no, it was McDonald's in another country.
Yeah. Who got the best food in other countries? Like,
I feel like that's subjective.
play. We gonna edit that out. All right. Love you, Ma. Hi, Ma, if you're watching this. So here's a really good question because I know y'all Commander-in-Chief is the POTUS, President of the United States. Who do you think's gonna win the next election?
Well,
Biden said he's running again. Trump said he's running again. And then there's this other dude, DeSantis. He's running again. You know about DeSantis? Okay. So who do you think gonna win?
Bro, you ain't see the other candidate?
All right. Who?
Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Oh my goodness.
No, I feel like he's the strongest one right now. Cause DeSantis, he sound like Trump times too.
Yeah. Oh, he been doing this thug dizzle. He sued. He got a lawsuit pending with somebody, and he winning. I forget who it is. Don't quote me on that.
So you're not talking about Disney, are you?
Yeah, Disney. Yup. He's suing Disney for trying to make the kids gay or something like that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, Disney is $1 billion to $1 trillion. Yeah, I wouldn't have sued him. That ain't the right move. I mean, unless he just got money to blow, like Trump or something, you know.
But yeah, now we heard Biden and Trump running again, and both of them.
Biden is like a non-competitor. They're like, yeah.
Yeah, but compared to them with Trump's numbers, yeah, they both like down 56%, not gonna win.
Well, Trump, when Trump's case was in, they said his numbers was up, and the lawsuit's basically done now. They don't have no evidence to even keep doing the case. How much you text me and told me how much time they was talking about giving them with all the felonies and stuff? It was like 100 and some years or something.
Like
Yeah.
7 years?
Yeah, ain't no way.
Yeah, it was a lot of years.
It was a
bro,
lot.
I ain't never getting that.
But yeah, they ain't got nothing to charge him. They just trying to make it so that he can't run. I think if Trump win, it's gonna be because he just say, I'm gonna give. His slogan gonna be "Make gas cheap again," and everybody gonna be like, "Yeah, I want cheap gas." That's his main demographic right there. And then, yeah, Biden's like a non-factor. I think Kamala might run, to be honest. If they might switch it up. I don't know if you can do that or not, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna drop out for competency. Like he just be. Yeah, Sleepy Joe need to go to sleep. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, nah, going against what we was just saying about getting these old dudes out of office.
Yeah, he's like 86 or something. Buddy is out of. I mean, Trump's like 70 something, but
all the Kennedys old except for like DeSantis.
Yeah.
But
You got to be like 55 to run, I think.
no, you gotta be 35.
35?
Mhm.
I did not. I thought it was older because all our presidents been older than.
I think what the thing has been is like once you hit 35, you kind of want that experience before you actually run.
Yeah. Because I think Obama was an attorney general or something. Kamala, I know she was attorney general. Biden been in politics for like 30-something years or something like that. He's just been in politics like,
Because remember, when Harambe died and all them people voted for, you don't actually have to be running. You just gotta be old enough.
I remember Harambe got a decent amount of votes though.
Like 14%.
RP Harambe. Nah, that's why I
What
think
if he would've won?
that's why I think like Trump really beat all the odds. Like he's never been in politics or nothing like that. So let me ask you this. What do you think about Trump? Like everybody thinks he's racist, but like if you just go back to like the late 90s, everybody had songs with Trump. Oprah had pictures with him. He helped Al Sharpton run for president, which is kind of crazy looking back. Like he Oprah said that in one of her books that he was one of her favorite people, and he used to be, I think it was Judge Mathis, or was it? I think it was Judge Mathis. He said that in the early 90s, when people couldn't get a loan from banks and stuff because their credit was bad, he would just basically have you sign this contract or whatever, boom, 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 and he'd just give you the money to start up your business or whatever, and then he'd be like, you just tear up the contract, like you don't have to owe me nothing, just if you get it, just pay me back what you owe me and we'll be straight, and if you don't, then don't worry about it type. Like he was really just, you feel me, handing money out, and 90% of the people we did that with was black, but you know, that's just, I don't know if you can even prove that, but that's more word of mouth, but, you know what I mean?
That's something you can prove, but
Yeah.
you gotta remember, Trump is a businessman.
Mm-hmm.
He's among the uber rich of America, so he has a lot of friends with connections. I think that's really what that Epstein thing was about. Like, you're a lawyer that handles finances for people under the radar.
Epstein had no reason to be famous other than, like the house he lived in was gifted to him for like, I want to say it was a ridiculous amount, like $100, or it was like a $200 million house he got for like $200, something like that. And the island, the whole manifesto thing, that whole thing got covered up. And it's like, man, the names of the people that was on that list, man, like.
And that's why I say, like, Trump, you were asking what do I think about him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he has friends in high places, but during his presidency, like, look where it got him. It got him this case that he's doing right now, because he lent out money that they're not really sure if it was in exchange for a service.
Yeah.
Just because like it wasn't
allegedly, we gotta say allegedly.
Just because like it wasn't paid out over an amount of time, he just went ahead and straight paid it off cash or something like that. They're saying like it's still uncertain whether like what the service was, but they're kind of drawing it towards like maybe he did have something to go towards the election, or just like almost like bribery.
Yeah.
But I think that's what they're looking into now.
Yeah, because the dude worked on his campaign. I know that. The dude did work on his campaign. But he got kicked off for embellishing money, for taking money from the campaign and used from his personal finances and all type of. But yeah, go ahead. We gonna, probably at like 22, we gonna end it, and then we gonna go to the next one.
Yeah, I think that's like Donald Trump's bread and butter for real. Like, he knows this is why I be wanting you to play Monopoly. Like, you got to make those business decisions. Who to work with, how much you get what, when to pay off. Yeah, like you got your connect. And as a president, I guess I can see that working somewhat, but like we bring it back to the national debt. Like, how much money are we gonna keep like lending out, or services we gonna keep exchanging for until like we actually cut down on the debt? Like, when is one of the candidates going to go for that? They worried about stuff like, don't get me wrong, like civil rights and like what you're allowed to do, politics. That shouldn't be second seat to anything right now, but it's like we started this video off with, like, are we losing control of the country? We've been worried about gun reform, people can have gay marriage. I guess wages kind of ties into that.
Minimum wage, yeah.
I don't want to say like all this stuff is minimal or second seat to like the debt, but if we don't get that out of the way, I feel like we're losing control right now.
Yeah. And on that, guys, we're gonna come back in the next one. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. He's gonna have a version on his channel, and I'm gonna edit mine up and all of that, make it nice and saucy. You know what I mean? But make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe to both. We just two dudes talking. Welcome to Stoop Chronicles. Peace. Wow.